Have you ever been in an elevator, felt a little shudder, and had that terrifying thought flash through your mind? What if the cables snap right now? It's a classic movie scene, right? The hero trapped in a plummeting metal box, hurtling towards the ground. And then the big question pops into your head, the one we've all secretly wondered about. Could I save myself by jumping at the last second? It seems so logical, doesn't it? Like a video game character pulling off a double jump. The elevator is falling, I'm falling with it. But if I jump up just before it hits the bottom, my upward motion should cancel out the downward motion, and I'll land gently like a feather, right? Well, today we're going to put that theory to the test. Not with a real elevator, thankfully, but with a little help from our good friend physics. Let's break it down. First, let's understand the problem. When the elevator cables snap, you, the elevator, your phone, everything inside starts to fall together in what's called free fall. You'd feel weightless, just like an astronaut floating in space. It's a surreal and frankly terrifying experience. You're both accelerating towards the ground at the same speed, about 9.8 meters per second squared thanks to gravity. So let's say the elevator is falling at a bone-crushing speed of, let's say, 100 miles per hour just before impact. That's about 160 kilometers per hour. To survive, you need to cancel out that speed. So in theory, you'd need to jump upwards at 100 miles per hour, relative to the elevator floor, at the exact moment of impact. Now think about your best jump. The average person can maybe jump about 2 feet or 60 centimeters straight up. That gives you an upward velocity of, wait for it, around 3 to 4 miles per hour, that's it. Michael Jordan in his prime, one of the greatest leapers in history, had a vertical jump that gave him an upward velocity of maybe 9 miles per hour. That is world-class superhuman jumping. So you're in an elevator plummeting at 100 miles per hour. You time your heroic Michael Jordan level jump perfectly. You push off the floor with all your might. What happens? Well, instead of hitting the ground at 100 miles per hour, you'll now hit the ground at 91 miles per hour. So the answer is no. Unfortunately, jumping does next to nothing. Your tiny little muscle-powered jump is completely insignificant compared to the immense crushing force of gravity acting on a multi-ton metal box. You'd basically just be choosing to smash into the ceiling of the elevator at 91 mph instead of the floor. Not a great choice, and that's not even the hardest part. The biggest problem is timing. How would you even know when the last second is? It's pitch black, you're weightless, disoriented, and panicking. You have no reference point. You're just as likely to jump too early, smacking your head on the ceiling and knocking yourself out, or jump too late, which is, well, you know. Okay, so the jumping plan is a bust. Is it a completely hopeless situation? Well, not entirely. While a free-falling elevator is extremely rare thanks to multiple safety systems, if you ever find yourself in this nightmare scenario, survival experts and physicists do have a recommended best practice, and it's the complete opposite of jumping. They say you should lie flat on your back in the center of the elevator floor. Yes, lie down. This distributes the force of impact across your entire body, protecting your vital organs as much as possible. Your legs and arms are relatively fragile and can't absorb that kind of impact. But your torso, especially your back, is the strongest, most resilient part of your body. Covering your head and face with your arms is also a good idea to protect against falling debris from the elevator's ceiling. It's not a guaranteed survival plan, let's be clear. The forces involved are still astronomical, but it gives you the absolute best statistical chance of surviving. So the next time you're in an elevator and your mind wanders, you can impress your friends with some life-saving physics. The myth is busted, don't jump. Lie down, spread out, and hope that the engineers who built the elevator did their job right, which 99.999% of the time they did. So you can probably just relax and enjoy the ride.